Welcome, everybody, to the After the Ride podcast. We're going to be talking about 4 tips to gain confidence on your next ride. And we're going to be talking about the plan method. The plan method is extremely important. It's something that's going to help you out quite a bit. We just watched a whole bunch of people crash on our Riding Smart with DanDanTheFireman live stream every Tuesday and Thursday. But now it's going to be Mountain Standard Time at 1 p.m. I think I said that backwards. But anyways, we're going to jump into it, okay? So for me, when it comes to having confidence on the bike, it really just kind of comes down to how much knowledge do I have of what I'm doing. Not knowing what you're doing, not knowing what's ahead of you, not knowing while you're doing something is very nerve-wracking because you feel like you don't have control. There's plenty of things out there that you don't have control on, and that's fine, but knowing that you can't have control of it is better than trying to control something you can't. And so having the knowledge of what it is that you can control and then actually doing those things allows you to cope with such a terrible situation out there on the road when you have a side of the vehicle come out in front of you, or you're stuck behind a vehicle in heavy traffic, you're starting to get anxious. So we developed a plan method to really help you out there. So P for plan method is position for safety. L is locate potential hazards. A is adapt to those perceived hazards. So whatever you perceive as a hazard, you got to adapt to it. And then navigate around any threats. So if there is a side of the vehicle coming out, you have to navigate around it. What you do for positioning for safety is you have basically 3 things you need to be looking out for. You need to be looking out for your escape paths. So are you going to swerve? Do you have enough room for braking? Do you have more than one escape path so you can swerve left or right? What is it that you can do? Always have at least one. The next thing I want you looking for is a space cushion. So you need to have a space cushion in front, to the sides, to behind you, whatever it is. Don't be in a blind spot. Don't be right behind the vehicle in front of you. Move over if there's a vehicle right on your butt, because if you slam the brakes or if you do something you have to do, they might hit you because they can't stop in time. So space cushions, very, very, very important. The next thing, which is honestly the most important thing out of all of this, because being a smart rider, you need to seek and recognize hazardous situations. The third thing you look for in plan, the P, the position for safety, is good line of sight. So line of sight, you look straight, you look forward, and if there's something that breaks it, goes right in between you and what you're looking at, that's a breakage of line of sight. You want to know where your goal is. You want to know where your escape path ends. You want to know where your space cushions are. You want to see around the vehicle. So if you're stuck behind a vehicle, move over to the left or the right side of the lane so that you can see down the line versus the back end of that vehicle. So now that we know how to position for safety, my thing that I do is actually move over to, like I said, left or right. I have the best vision. I have the best space cushions in front of me, and I have an escape path I can see. And this space cushions, like I said, is going to be increased because now I can just kind of do a lane filtering thing. That's just one example of planning a ride. Middle, 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 on corners. We could talk more about that later, but we're talking about confidence here. So knowing what you can do in your position and knowing that even if you screw up and the person in front of you slammed the brakes, you're in that far right portion of that lane, right on that line. If they screw up, you react super late, you can't find an escape path because you weren't paying attention, well, you're now lane filtering and braking versus trying to brake and slam into the back of the vehicle. So positioning yourself for safety is a lot like putting yourself in success, positioning for success. Because even if you screw up, now you're in a lane filtering position anyways. So that's so huge when it comes to confidence. Now let's go ahead and talk about locating potential hazards. Okay, so this is where your eyes really have to scan things, and we're still in yellow stage here. Okay, we're yellow stage. We talk about the color code stages during our basic training course that we have. Link will be in the description. But you're looking for road surface hazards. You're looking for blind spots. You're looking for sides of the vehicles. You're looking for uncommon things in a common situation, like headlights in your lane. Right? You're not supposed to see headlights in your lane. You're supposed to see it in the other lane. You're supposed to see brake lights. There's going to be signage. You're looking for signage, sharp turn coming up. You have chevrons. You have skid marks on the road right before a turn. It's like people have already been in that situation and tried to stop. So you're constantly looking for hazards here, constantly scanning. So always be in a good position, scan for hazards, adjust that. And that's where we're going to get to right now. So you're going to be adapting to those perceived hazards that you find. So a really easy one would be a pothole. You see a pothole about 5-6 seconds ahead because you're in a good position. You can see super far because your line of sight's really good. And then you're also locating hazards, and road surface hazards is one of those things. All you have to do for an adaptation, there we go, is move over just a little bit. So let's say you're in the far right lane, you can see super far, there's not a lot of stuff in front of you. All of a sudden you see a pothole though. Just move over to the middle portion and then move back to the right. And now you're back into a good position for safety. You're good for another few seconds till you see another pothole, but you can see super far and you're back into it. So just a quick adaptation. So this is gonna be that orange stage. You're gonna recognize something. You're just gonna do a quick little, an easy little adjustment to what you need to do. And it could just be applying the brakes a little bit and then moving over or doing whatever it is you need to do. This is so we don't get surprised. And that's where confidence really comes in, is when you're not surprised about what it is that is coming at you. Okay, so a fighter knowing how to fight is not surprised by somebody wanting to throw down and try to punch him. They know what to do. Now, you'd be scared and you'd be surprised and not know what to do and panic if you've never been in a fight before, never been trained, and somebody wants to hurt you. Same concept here. We're on motorcycles. We need to have a system in place so that we have knowledge, so that when something comes out and gets us, we can do something about it. And that's really what it is. So what we need to do when it comes to a threat is navigate those threats. Plan, P-L-A-N. So we're already positioned for safety. We have a good position. We're locating things. We're doing great. We located something. Now we got to do something because it's a threat. Let's say we're going to an intersection. We're positioned for safety. We locate an intersection. We're going to go ahead and adapt to that perceived hazard. We're slowing it down. We're covering the brakes, kind of slowing down, scanning because intersections are dangerous. And now we see somebody coming out into the intersection across the traffic, cutting across. It's the side of the vehicle. You're going straight. You're about to T-bone them, or at least that's what could happen if you weren't paying attention. But since we are, and we're positioned for safety, we located it, we already adapted to the intersection, so slowed it down. Now we see the side of the vehicle we have to navigate. Red stage. Do something. Our hands are already on those brakes. Squeeze, progressive brake pressure. We don't have to slam it. We don't have to go crazy. Our hands are already on it. Now, since we're looking for things, we're positioned for safety, we know an escape path, we're looking for them, we can also swerve. But we're prepped and ready for something. We knew something could happen. We didn't know exactly what. But intersections are deadly because of left turners. Intersections are deadly because people run red lights. Intersections are deadly because people don't stop in time when you're stopped at the red light and you get rear-ended. Always put yourself in a position for those three common things. Locate those common things. Adapt to those common things. And if you have to, navigate with a red stage, swerve, emergency braking, whatever it is you need to do. Having this knowledge beforehand is going to help you gain confidence. We talk about it in depth in our motorcycle training concepts, basic rider can we kind of shorten it down? MTC Rider Basic Training e-course. There we go. Links are in the description. It's in the first unit. We talk about plan method, and then we actually go out and ride and show you plan method in real time. So check it out. Link is in the description. You're going to like it. It's only $4.99. But let's go ahead and get back to the class.